Meanwhile, in stately Wayne Manor...
Happy Saturday. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Another episode of Build the Classic 1966 Batmobile is coming at you right now. Welcome back to Brickscale Studios. My name is Jeff, and as always, I am super excited to have you with me today as we begin another Superhero Saturday. So in today's episode, we are going to start working on the Batmobile engine in the Partwork build. And in the Lego build, we're going to continue to work on the chassis and kind of get that foundation finished up, or at least a good portion of it. So without further delay, let's get into the build.
And in the Batcave, deep below stately Wayne Manor...
So here we are in issue 5. So here is the magazine. So again, we're in season 1, episode 5. Alright, so then in this issue, it looks like we'll be working on the Batmobile's engine, starting with the gearbox and the starter motor. So here are our parts, and then here's the instructions, and that's what we will end up with. So let's get into issue 5. So here is the parts pack for issue 5. So let's get that open. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is fix the bell housing connector to the inside of the bell housing plate. So this is the inside of the bell housing plate. It's just a flat plate as opposed to a bell. And the bell is actually metal, but this is plastic. So we want the bell housing connector. So there are two of these pieces that look very similar. One has a longer tab and a smaller hole, and this one has a shorter tab and a larger hole. So the one we want for this step is the one with the shorter tab and the larger hole. So we're going to take this, and then the tab here is going to go through this slot like so. And it can only go in one way, because if you try to put it in the other way, then the notches don't line up with the tabs down here. So it can only go in one way. So we're putting that just like so. So that goes in just like that. And that's going to be secured in with FP screws, and those are flange screws. There's one side, and there's the other side, so that one is done. So now we want to take the gearbox connector, which is the other tab with the smaller hole, and that's going to be secured inside the bell housing. So again, we are going to put this through the tab through the slot so that it comes out the other side, like so. Yeah, this one will go in either way, so it doesn't matter. And that one's going to go in with, let's see, DM screws. And these are also flanged screws. Alright, perfect. So we got those in. Okay, so now we have this cable, and it wants us to cut it. Let me just move those over to the side here so you can see this. So here are the instructions. So we want to take this cable and we want to cut it. Okay, this is not good. So this is the cable they gave us, and they want us to cut 2 of these. But yeah, it is not long enough. So that is unfortunate. This one. So yeah, this only leaves us this piece, and we're supposed to have enough to have another piece this size. So yeah, that is not going to work. All right, so we need to attach these together. And obviously there's only one way that this can go, just like this. And that's going to go in with CM screws. So let me get this together. Okay, so now we have the housing together. So we are supposed to take this, let me get these out of here. We're supposed to, actually I'm going to leave this black one in here because this is the one that we don't have the long enough cable for. So if we turn the page, they want us to put this on here like so. Okay, no problem. And then this is supposed to go on the back side of this housing. And it's just a press to fit. There's no glue or anything. So that is supposed to go there. And the other one is supposed to go on the starter. See that, but there's a hole here for this piece to slot into, and it's supposed to have the other shorter cable on it. So we will have to contact customer service and get another cable. All right, so perfect. So that is the end of issue 5. So I am just going to actually put this starter in this Ziploc bag with this connector, and when we get that other cable, we will come back to it. So I'm going to set those aside, and we're going to move on to issue 6. So here we have issue 6. So again, season 1, episode 6. Here is the magazine. So these magazines are really well done. The colors are great. So now in this phase, we are going to fit the gearbox and oil pan to the bell housing. So here are the parts here. And then here are our instructions. And then we're going to fit that to the part we made in the last issue. So here's our part pack for issue 6. These two pieces are metal. All the rest is plastic. And then again, we have some screws here, so let me get those open before we start. So the first part, this is the slip yoke. Yeah, so this is the gearbox housing left, this is the gearbox housing right, and they are stamped with an R and an L. Then of course we have the oil pan here, and then we have an oil pan bracket and a gearbox bracket, and then our screws. So let's get going here. So the first thing we want to do is take our oil pan, and we want to take the oil pan bracket, which is this one here, just like we had in the bell housing. It's got a little tab, so this one we want to go facing up like so. And again, I don't think it matters which way that you put that on. Those are going in with DP screws. Okay, there's one and there's 2. So that is going to go on the, let's see, the left housing. So that's the right, this one is the left. And so this is going to go just like so. And that's going in with a DM screw. All right, so there's that piece. Now we want to bring over the part we made in the last issue, the bell housing. And it looks like we want to take this, and it's going to go right in like so. And that's going to be secured with a DM screw. The slip yoke, that needs to go right in there like so. Alright, so make sure you get the slip yoke in there before you put these pieces together. So now that we've got that slip yoke in there, now we will secure these with CM screws. Alright, so that is on there. And then now we're just going to flip this over, and we are going to attach the, what is this? The gearbox bracket. And again, this looks symmetrical. So those are going in with AM screws. All right, so that is in, and then our little hose fell out. I might end up having to glue that, but there is the finished issue 6. All right, so let's move on to the Lego portion. Okay, so here we are in the Lego portion. So this is where we left off from the last episode. And remember, I kind of jumped the gun and attached these white jumpers here on step 13. I was only supposed to go to step 12. So in this episode, we are going to do 14 through 18. So we're only doing 5 steps instead of 6, so that we're back on track. All right, so let's get into step number 14. Okay, so that is steps 14 through 18. So we've attached the 2 pieces we were working on in the last episode to the piece we were working on in the first episode, and then we've created this base piece, and that is it for this episode. So let's bring back, I'm going to set this on top of here. So this is the Lego version so far, and then for the part work, we worked on this bell housing, and then we attached it to the transmission. And then also remember, we have the starter, which we will not be able to do anything with until we get that additional cord. Again, I need to contact customer service. Here it is here in the bag. So once I get that additional piece of cabling, we will attach it to the starter. But in the part work portion, we were only attaching the cable to the starter. We weren't attaching the starter here anywhere. So, so this should not hinder us if we keep building on this part in the next episode. So there we are. Well, it looks like the engine is coming along. You know, we're just in the beginning of it, but it's starting to take shape. So hopefully the customer service issue with that other hose will go smoothly, and I will have that replacement part here soon. I've submitted an email to them, so I'm just waiting to hear back. And then, as I mentioned in the introduction, for the Lego version, we're continuing work building that chassis and that strong foundation for the Batmobile. Let's get into our summary of steps and parts for this episode. So for the part work build, we completed 14 steps and also used 14 parts. And for the Lego build, we completed 11 steps and used 30 parts. So total to date, we have completed 37 steps and used 54 parts for the part work build. And for the Lego build, we have completed 40 steps and used 114 pieces. So again, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Also comment on how you think the build is going, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I will see you soon. Same bat time, same bat channel.